the old system. We're going to show the old system on this side. The new system. This is where I'm having a bit of a block. And I'm trying to understand what it is that I'm seeing. I got the details of what's going on with the system. But there's something I'm missing. Something that is stopping me from figuring this thing out. Or is it can't be figured out. And I'm starting to rely more on the lines of you can't figure it out. Okay, let's look at something. And I wrote it down on here already. I did it myself, but I want to do it with you all so you can understand what I wrote. All right. Okay, so in the old system, there's going to be some similarities with the old system and the current system. Let me get a pen that's going to still ring true. Right. In the old system, you were focusing on SEO, and SEO was basically the search engine optimization. I gotta check my spelling on that. But optimization, I'm just gonna put that. Right? That's what it consists of. And on the old system, you had the SEOs was basically making sure everything lined up in order for the system, the old algorithm, and it wasn't a machine, it wasn't an AI system, it was controlled by the people, could find your video the easiest. In that SEO, there was a lot of different things that you had to look at. One being keywords, file names, file name of the video itself. The other being the title, the thumbnail, and the description. And the keywords was and it's still there. You could put keywords, but a lot of people didn't really rely on the keywords. Also in the search engine optimization, you could also put hashtags. Hashtags at a certain point used to help your videos in order to be able for the system could kind of computer all this stuff. So if your file name, let's say we made a video and the video was called YouTube Life, right? And if the file name was entitled YouTube Life, just like the video, this would help the system read whatever it was that you were putting inside of it. And then if you use keywords that was relevant or hot and popping, a lot of people used to use keywords when it came down to viral videos. And so they would use certain keywords, not only in the video itself, meaning they would say these keywords. They would say the keywords in the video. They would have keywords in the title. They would have the keywords in the description. And they will have it in a keyword section on the actual video upon upload. And all this stuff would sync it as an SEO, search engine optimization, because when you went in and put in certain keywords, you could see if that keyword was a keyword that was being used, right? And so therefore, a lot of emphasis was put on your title and your thumbnail and a good hook, and make sure you flow through in the system. Now, in the old system, everybody focused on niching down, because the old system was controlled by the people. So just like business, you want to find your targeted audience. And the more niche down you were, the better you could get to the people that you were trying to get your information to. And you didn't want to kind of appease to everybody, because if you lock it down to a certain people or certain, like if it was YouTube tips and you did YouTube tips, it was really targeted. And so therefore, on a platform that had millions of people, you would find your group of people. Okay? And then your group of people would help push it out to other groups of people. And so therefore, that's how the old system worked. Okay? That was the old system. And just to make sure I hit up every note on my notes, I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Another thing about the old system, when enough of this happened, a video from the creator would go viral. That's how you would get a viral video. Enough people would watch this. And during that time, people were subbing, they were liking your video, they were leaving comments, which all developed engagement on your channel. Now you see why I needed to write this down so y'all can follow along. It all made everybody engage. All right. Some people, everybody wouldn't go to the viral stage. That will be limited in a few. But you had a few people that would, right? Small number that would. In this system, it was hard for you to become monetized. Right? Matter of fact, in this system, 98% of YouTubers failed. And then out of the 2%, only 1% made a significant amount of money to where they could say they were truly successful. And in those 1%, you might know Mr. Beast. Now I watched an interview about Mr. Beast, and he took us back from the time he got started. It took him 10 years to reach the level that people thought he became the face of YouTube. 10 years within his old system. And a lot of stuff he would tell you was just posts. You know, by the time you get to your 100th video, you should have found something that will make, figure out your niche. And even with him, although most content creators kept saying niche, he never really said niche. He just said, basically, you'll find what your audience like. And then you appease to the audience. And then you did what was called double down on the video. And this is how the old system basically worked. It was a people-based, driven system. But then things changed. In October of 2020, 2024. They were getting ready to launch a new system. We started noticing some changes with this new system. But they wasn't really giving this information out. Now, this is where this system becomes extremely complex. Now, in order to remember what happened with this, what was going on with the new system, you have to remember what happened here. Because if you didn't get this down, then you wouldn't be able to understand the changes that are now happening in the new system. One more thing I wanted to say. In the old system, when they introduced the shorts, they didn't work really. That would also change in October of 2024. But lives actually worked. So in October of last year, the company was heading in a new direction. They was heading with a new system. This system would be more advanced. It would tap into what a lot of other industries were now tapping into. It would tap into the AI system. And nobody really knew it was coming because there was a key thing about this AI system. If you didn't know about it, you didn't know to look for it. And so a lot of things are going over people's heads. If you was looking outside of Google, which, by the way, owns YouTube, and you was just researching where the company was heading to, then you would have found out about the AI system that was coming to the YouTube platform. So now it's time to explain the new system. In the new system, it's an AI, artificial intelligence system that has a mechanism known as ML. ML is one of the most advanced system in AI technology. Why? Because it is a machine learning system. Its whole purpose is to learn anything that comes into it. Now, unlike the old system that was people-based driven, this one is now AI driven. And basically what it is artificial intelligence where it takes everything any human knows and it dumps it into this machine learning system, and it teaches the system everything it needs to know, both about the viewer and the content creator. But there's something else that's going on. It's also learning about all of the advertisers. And every component within the YouTube system. Now, within this AI system, it will carry over some things from the old system. In the old system, SEOs was very important. In the new system, it will no longer be. So SEOs out. In the old system, thumbnails, titles, and descriptions was very important in order to draw your viewer in. In the new system, thumbnail, title, and description is all read by AI. In the old system, niching down was extremely important. In the new system, niching down hurts. It's better to have a range of topics. Why? Because a very key component about the new system changed. In the old system, sub for sub happened a lot, even though it was frowned upon by YouTube. And why was it frowned upon by YouTube? Because if you could get people to subscribe to your channel, you get closer to your 1,000 subs. And that's one of the key components to becoming monetized on your channel. The second was the 4,000 watch hours. Well, in the new system, they changed that. They made it easier to become monetized by giving you to the first tier. You no longer had to have 1,000 subscribers. You only had to have 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. To be partially monetized. But to be fully monetized, you had to have your 1,000, which was an additional 500 more subscribers, and 1,000 more watch hours to equal 4,000 watch hours. And then you will become fully monetized. But when you became partial monetized, it allowed you to start making money. That took place around December 2024. It was preparing everybody for the new system because they knew how complex this new system was. And if you didn't get close to the qualifications of being monetized, since the majority of their platform relies on AdSense, then you were going to be in trouble if they couldn't convince you to look for alternative ways to make money. And the mass majority will probably leave the platform. So they changed something else. They made small content creators more visible. By putting them on the front page next to large creators. And by doing that, they then took content creators who struggle with subs and views an opportunity to get to monetization closer so they wouldn't lose them with this complex system. But now the tables were turned. The larger creators were getting lesser views than the smaller creator. So they turned that feature off. That feature got turned off February 2025. And subtle changes was noticed because easy mode that everybody thought was easy, they quickly learned was no longer easy. In the old system, by niching down, it sent your videos out to your intended audience. And it gave you an opportunity to go viral based off of the number of viewers that saw your videos. In the newer system, everything is controlled by the subscribers. And the reason they did that was to get rid of sub for sub. Because if they allowed the subscribers not to really affect your videos, this new system based off of the learning, based off of the machine learning capability and AI driven, meaning faster, that 98% will probably be more like 75. So they had to put something in the system that would allow that to happen. And it fixed the problem, meaning if you do sub for sub, and your subs don't watch, your videos do not go out. And so therefore, the only person that will be watching your videos is the selected few core subscribers. But this also messed up something else. It messed up the niche down. Because with the AI system, everything started going faster. And the subscribers became bored with niching. It became repetitive. In the old system, they worried about click-through rate, impressions, returning viewers. In the new system, impressions and new viewers are more important. Because if you don't get past the subscribers, nobody's going to see it anyway. But with the new system, everybody is in their own box. And the way the system is designed, if you are not looking for it, you will not find it. This is why when information started coming out about the AI system, nobody could find it because they weren't looking for it. And with a machine learning system that is implanted inside this AI system, driven system, it's learning everybody. It's literally learning everybody. And so therefore, it's only putting information in front of you that you want to see. And what your history is used to showing you. And the only way to break free from that is you yourself step outside of your habit, because it's learning everything that you're doing. You literally have to force yourself to look for something new on a platform that has millions of viewers and content creators who are also viewers. Why do you keep seeing the same people? Well, one of the big reasons is hashtags. Remember, in the old system, hashtags used to help you. In the new system, hashtag is almost like a jail. And whoever uses these hashtags is sort of like locking yourself with these other people. And this, when I realized what was happening, it's kind of broke my heart a little bit, because I actually last year had started something called Let's Break the YouTube Algorithm. And even this year, I joined in with another content creator with Locked In. Well, unfortunately, that's exactly what we're doing. We're locking ourselves in. From being discovered. So one takeaway from this video: remove the hashtag. In the new system, they just don't work. It hurts more than it helps. Another thing that this new system is almost virtually eliminating is for a video to go viral for the platform. But that doesn't mean it will not go viral for you. What does that mean? If typically you're used to getting 50 views and you end up getting 1,000, you just went viral. But that don't mean for the platform you went viral. Because if enough of your subscribers are not watching your material, it's not getting pushed out. In the new system, shorts that they finally figured out actually help. They work. After this video, I have to go through all my videos and take out the hashtags, because I think that's what's hurting everybody from getting views is locking you in to a selected few on this platform. And if that selected few do not watch, your videos are not going out. But there is another way you could try to rejuvenate this stuff or revive it. It's through shorts. By that little linking at the where you do a short, it says link it to a video or a related video. This is how you could either help a video or bring one back to life. And this is another thing, y'all. Although posting multiple videos overall helps once you are discovered, in this new system, it's seriously hurting your channel. So this one is going to be a big one for me because I do post a lot. But the less you post, the better off you'll be. So that being said, make sure it's a quality video. Now here's where thumbnails, titles, and description come back into play. And it's not so much SEOing, but it's the AI ML system that is reading all of this. And it's also reading your voice from your video. This system is so freaking advanced to honestly, I don't think they were truly prepared for this. I really don't. I don't think they were expected to do what all is doing. I made a video about shadow banning. The purpose of me making that video was to let you know there isn't any shadow banning per se going on. But there is technical shadow banning. Because the system is programmed to block out certain things. And now as content creators, what we got to figure out, y'all, this is where I'm stumped. How do we do that? Because in order for you to become monetized, you need 1,000 subscribers. That means you have to be able to appease to all of these subscribers, or at least 50 to 55% of them. And one part of me, I want to say, do what you got to do to get your subscribers. But the other part of me will say, don't. Because if you do that and they don't watch, you just screwed your channel. But how do we get around this system that is blocking everybody across the board? Even large platforms, their percentage of views are anywhere from 1 to 5% per set of subscribers. A smaller platform, their views, a smaller platform, this is in the millions, thousands to millions. A platform that has at least 1,000 to, I'm going to say probably about 10,000. They're probably getting anywhere between 10 to about 30% of their views. And small content creators, under 1,000, are getting anywhere between 50 to 75% more views than subscribers. So on one token, especially because since everybody always look at views and subscribers, having a whole bunch of subscribers is not going to get you the views. And if you're monetized, you need the views in order to make your money and do what you need to do. But not having enough subscribers, you won't become monetized. This is the question I have for everybody. What do you think we do? How do we work ourselves around this new system? How do we break through what is going on everywhere with every creator on this platform? I was talking to one of my viewers tonight, and I told them I watched this video where an employee of YouTube has a channel, and she herself said, with all she knows, she's barely getting views on her videos. That says a lot to me. It just reaffirms this system is more advanced than they realized. Which brings me back to this. And the reason I broke it down this way to you all, the way I did, was to kind of hopefully maybe allow you to see better what is going on. Now, in the new system, I will say this. When you become monetized, or when you have the ability to, I believe it's 50 subscribers, if you're not monetized, do lives. And lives help your channel. And everybody, it's time to think outside the box. Because really, that's the only way you are going to get ahead in this system. Y'all leave y'all comments on here. Let me know what y'all think. Hopefully I broke that down a little bit more where people can better understand what I was saying. What do y'all think? What can we do as content creators? Or is it just simply remember I was watching a video a while back when more larger platforms were realizing what was going on. And one of the guys said, and he had, I believe his subscriber count was something like 70, 80 something thousand. And he said, well, basically YouTube is turning into your own personal virtual world. And if you can't get your subscribers to watch these videos, you're just basically entertaining your family and friends, essentially. So y'all let me know. What do y'all think? What could we do as content creators to break through this extremely difficult system? What is it that I'm missing? What is it that we're all missing? Hopefully now that you see what's going on, how do we get around this? Or do we just enjoy it, let it do what it do, expect absolutely nothing from it, and figure out ways for us to make our own money on this platform? And in my eyes, we all just become like the advertisers, and we just advertise our own businesses on this platform. But as always, be your brothers and sisters keeper. Y'all don't forget to like, share, and I'm only going to tell you to subscribe if you're going to watch the video. Okay, I'm not even pushing to subscribe anymore. If you're going to watch the video. Okay, so just like and comment on the video, y'all. Because I think I'm pretty satisfied with my 1328. I don't really have to have any more if that means that they're not finna watch. I need views. I don't need subscribers at this point. So yeah, like, comment, and let's put our minds together so we can figure this out, y'all. As always, toodles.